Porsche brand lies a captivating story, weaving together success, tragedy, innovation, and redemption. To truly grasp this story, we must venture back to 1898, where Ferdinand Porsche, a visionary engineer, left his job and embarked on a career in the automotive world. He spent the following decades creating some of the fastest and most groundbreaking vehicle designs for other car manufacturers, making him one of the greatest engineers ever. However, Porsche's path took a dark turn when he got involved in military projects for the Nazi regime, leading to imprisonment and eventually even costing him his life. Yet, our journey aims to unravel the true story of Porsche and how the brand transformed into one of the greatest luxury car brands we know today. In a small Austro-Hungarian village, now part of the Czech Republic, Ferdinand Porsche was born in September 1875. During a time when carriages, trains, and bicycles were widespread, he acquired skills in his father's blacksmithing trade. Despite the family business, Ferdinand, driven by a passion for education, concentrated on school, aspiring to pursue a different career. At 14, Ferdinand faced a loss when his older brother passed away, which led him to leave school and work full-time in his father's workshop. Despite being the oldest son, he reluctantly followed his father's career path, which he didn't enjoy. However, there was something else he found fulfilling in his free time: exploring electricity. During the late 19th century, electric light bulbs were gradually replacing candles and gas lights, capturing Porsche's fascination. He began experimenting with electric circuits in his house's attic. Though his father disapproved of this new hobby, observing Ferdinand's passion, he decided to enroll him in the Imperial Technical School of Reichenberg to enhance his engineering knowledge. At the school, Porsche quickly grasped the basics. Within a few months, he built his electric generator and illuminated the entire house with light bulbs. Recognizing his son's talent and passion, Ferdinand's father eventually allowed him to pursue his own path. Little did they realize, this new direction would play a crucial role in pioneering a brand new industry: automobiles. In 1893, at the age of 18, Ferdinand started his first job at Bella Egger & Co., a Vienna-based electric machinery manufacturer. Recognized for his brilliance, he quickly rose through the ranks, eventually becoming the leader. Ferdinand Porsche developed the first electric wheel hub motor for Bella Egger during his tenure. This electric motor was meant to be attached to any vehicle's wheel and make it move directly. At the time, it was commonly just used for bicycles. However, soon after, Ferdinand was developing other ideas for this motor. Around this time, as the region witnessed the emergence of the first automobiles, Ferdinand, like many other engineers, grew excited about entering this new industry. After 5 years at Bella Egger, he left and joined Jacob Lohner & Co., transitioning from carriage production to focus on self-powered vehicles. At 23, Ferdinand used electric motors to create his first car, the Porsche P1, like a racing car but with a wooden frame, and could go 49 miles before needing more fuel. Later, he combined a regular car engine with electric parts, making the first car that used both gas and electricity. It set speed records, but the problem was it couldn't go far, and it was very heavy. In July 1906, after 8 years at Lohner, Ferdinand Porsche took up the position of technical director at Austro-Daimler in Wiener Neustadt. At the age of only 31, he was responsible for the model range of one of Europe's largest automotive companies. He made a car that only used a regular engine, like most cars today. He won a race in 1910, which made him very famous. When the big war started in 1914, he used his skills to design things for the military, like planes and big machines for carrying heavy things. This made him one of the best engineers during the war. After World War I, Ferdinand Porsche returned to build race cars. In 1922, he created the Austro-Daimler Sascha, a small yet powerful car that won 43 out of 53 races, including the Targa Florio in 1922. Moving to Stuttgart in 1923, Porsche became the technical director at Daimler, later merging with Benz & Company to become Daimler-Benz. There, he designed the luxurious Mercedes-Benz S-Series, catering to both racing and the public. In 1928, he introduced the remarkable Mercedes-Benz SSK, which is arguably one of the fastest and greatest sports cars of his era. This is a high-performance sports car with a top speed of 235 km per hour. The SSK dominated races, winning the 500 miles of Argentina in 1929 and continued its success in subsequent Grand Prix events. He also designed the Trosei Roadster, celebrated for its extravagant appearance. However, creative differences led Porsche to leave Mercedes-Benz and join another car manufacturer. Unfortunately, this company collapsed during the Great Depression, leaving Porsche unemployed. Undeterred, he founded his own company, Porsche GmbH, with his son Ferry, marking a pivotal moment in his career. Back in the 1930s, initially, the Porsche company didn't start building cars under their own brand. Ferdinand Porsche was having a tough time finding work for his car projects. But then, a surprising thing happened. Adolf Hitler, who was in charge of Germany, wanted everyone to have an affordable car. So, Porsche got the job to create what became known as the Volkswagen Beetle. It was a small car with an engine in the back, making it easy to drive and not needing much fuel. This car turned out to be a big deal in history. After receiving a whopping 300,000 orders for the Beetle, Porsche faced a significant setback. World War II erupted. As Germany shifted its focus to wartime production, the Volkswagen factory halted Beetle production. Porsche, deeply involved in military projects, worked on developing military vehicles and machinery, including the Schwimmwagen, the military version of the Beetle, Elephant tank destroyer, and V-1 flying bomb missile. Despite being a favored engineer, he struggled to meet Hitler's expectations for tank designs. Ferdinand Porsche designed a tank called the Ferdinand for a contest by Hitler to see who would win the contract to mass-produce the Tiger, a heavy tank to be used in the war. This hybrid tank had a unique design with complicated engines. Porsche faced challenges, and although he lost the contest, his tank chassis were repurposed into effective anti-tanks called Elephants during the war. However, these faced problems on the battlefield due to their engines and mobility. Most of them broke down and were lost on the battlefield. During World War II, Porsche's Stuttgart factory used slave laborers, which the company initially denied. Later, after dozens of people spoke out in the late 20th century detailing their capture and forced labor conditions and Porsche's plans at the hands of the German regime, they admitted to the accusations and paid compensation to victims. Although common during that time, Porsche, despite working with the Nazi, didn't really agree with their ideology. He focused on business and supplying government needs, often distancing himself from Nazi practices. The Nazi regime refers to a time in history when a group called the Nazis, led by Adolf Hitler, took control of Germany in the 1930s. They did harmful things, like discriminating against certain groups of people and causing World War II. Ferdinand Porsche helped Porsche Company make more money during the war. But after the war, he got arrested for being involved with the Nazi. His son, Ferry Porsche, took over the company and built advanced vehicles. To get his dad out of jail, Ferry Porsche signed a contract with a car company, Cisitalia, and built the Cisitalia 360, an advanced vehicle for its time. Unfortunately, Ferdinand's time in prison made his health bad, and he faced health issues until his last breath. Ferry Porsche took charge due to his father's poor health. He noticed that the car manufacturer he previously worked for, Cisitalia, was building small sports cars with a Fiat engine. So he asked himself, why can't we do the same with Volkswagen parts? He met with the managing director of Volkswagen and struck a deal that would allow him to use their parts, as well as the distribution of their network. He also provided the documents which proved that the Volkswagen Beetle was developed by his father before the war. This got Volkswagen to agree to pay a license fee to Porsche for every Volkswagen Beetle they built. These negotiations proved that Ferry wasn't just a skilled engineer but also a brilliant businessman. Most importantly, these agreements with Volkswagen gave the Porsche company the financial resources they needed to begin experimenting and developing their own vehicles. In 1948, Ferry Porsche introduced the first car bearing the family name, the Porsche 356. This small roadster, initially powered by a Volkswagen air-cooled engine, reached a top speed of 87 miles per hour. Despite modest beginnings, Ferry improved the design, enhancing speed and performance. The 350 SIXS racing debut in Innsbruck, Austria, in 1948 secured a first-place victory, laying the groundwork for Porsche's future success in motorsports. Though initially modest in sales, the 356 gained popularity among car enthusiasts. Ferdinand Porsche, proud of his son's success, witnessed the car's triumph before passing away in 1951. Shortly after his death, the Porsche 356 gained significant sales, especially after winning a race at Le Mans in 1951. Subsequent models, such as the 356 Speedster and 356 Carrera, captured the admiration of sports drivers and celebrities. Despite being a variation of the Beetle with minor changes, the 356 marked a turning point in Porsche's history. Porsche responded to customer preferences by designing the iconic 911, introduced in 1964, which would take the Porsche brand to a completely new level. Alexander Porsche, Ferry's son, played a key role in crafting this powerful sports car with a distinctive six-cylinder boxer engine and a rear air-cooled design, ensuring a unique driving experience marked by smoothness and reliability. The 911's launch marked a turning point for Porsche, becoming their best-selling vehicle, and its success extended into racing with notable victories at the Monte Carlo Rally from 1968 to 1970. The 911's continuous evolution, introducing faster models like the Carrera S and Turbo, contributed to Porsche's growing popularity, reaching over 20,000 annual sales by the 1970s. Around the same time, Ferry Porsche stepped down from his role at the company, and with none of his sons willing to take over, the family council split the company's shares, ending the family's direct involvement. Despite this change, Porsche continued to enhance its lineup with better and sportier vehicles, solidifying its status as a top sports car brand.